Have you ever wondered why influencers with massive following don't always seem to make a living off of it? That's because having a massive following will not guarantee you to have a profitable online business. So you don't want to focus on gaining more and more followers without having a proven content strategy to convert these new followers into clients. So in today's episode, I will share with you why you don't need a massive following to actually have a profitable online business. And I will share with you my tips to help you grow a following that makes sense to you and that you can actually monetize and sell your services to. So if you are interested, keep watching. Hi, and welcome to this new episode of her Online Business Podcast, the podcast for ambitious expat girl bosses and digital nomads. I am Adama, your host, and my mission is to help you build a business that serves your life, not the other way around, have more freedom, work smarter, while making a positive impact. So I think there are 5 main points that you should take into consideration when you want to start building your following on social media to grow a profitable online business. Tip number 1, and I said that before, you should remember that you are an entrepreneur and not an influencer. So since you are selling your own services and digital products, it doesn't matter how many followers you have because you are not aiming at having some brand deals and being able to pitch to some brands to show them that you actually have some followers who are engaged and that you could actually promote their product to your audience. Instead, you are building a following to which you can sell your own services and digital products. And so that's why you should nurture the relationship with each of the followers that you are gaining. Do not wait until you reach a certain number of followers to be more accessible to them, because one mistake that I see new entrepreneurs making is that we focus on putting content out and trying to go viral, but then they don't interact with their followers, right? So there is this distance between their followers and them, which means that they don't really know you. So they won't actually trust you when it comes to buying your services. So you want to make sure that you build a genuine relationship with your followers so that they get to know, like, but also trust you. And you need this final step to make sure that they will be ready to buy from you and not only like and engage with your posts. That's why you can start having a profitable online business in no time, even if you are starting with 0 followers, depending on your niche, of course. Because, for example, if you want to be a social media manager, then you definitely will have to have at least one professional social media that you are using where you can showcase your expertise in terms of engagement and content and so on. But if you are a service provider and an expert in your field and you have been practicing this skill in your previous jobs, then all you have to do is to prove to your ideal clients that you can help them with their particular issue, maybe give them some audit or some piece of strategy that they could implement in their business so that they know that you are the right fit for them, right? And it doesn't require you to have any type of following to do that, only to know your expertise and to know your ideal client. Which brings me to my tip number 2, which is that you have to know your ideal client to a T. Whenever you create content, you should always have your ideal client interest in mind. Do not create content only for yourself and your own pleasure. Instead, think about what could help them today. Not in 6 months, not in 1 year or 10 years. Think about something very simple that they need to know right now that will open their mind and make them realize that you can help them with that. So when it comes to creating content, you have to be a bit selfless about it because it is actually not about you. You are the one putting yourself out there, but you are not the one deciding if the content is actually valuable or not. Your audience will kind of decide what they deem valuable today. So you have to find the balance between doing what you truly love and helping others. If you believe that your online business is a way for you to achieve your own personal and business goals while having a positive impact, then you want to make sure that you also focus on your ideal client and what they are telling you when it comes to their own challenges. So if you don't already have a content strategy that is working for you, I have shared in a previous episode my ultimate content strategy that you can plan in less than 10 minutes. It was in episode 43 and I will put the link in the description as well. So definitely watch that once you've done with this episode to start working on your content strategy and get the ball rolling. Tip number 3, build a community, not a following. If you don't know the difference between the two, I talked about this last week, but basically what you want is human connection, right? This is how people are going to relate to you and trust you, because you have to remember that buying stuff online is actually kind of recent, especially when you buy things from individuals and solopreneurs like myself and yourself, and not only from big brands and companies that everybody knows. So you have to understand that it is not common sense to buy something from somebody that you saw online and that you never met in real life and you don't really know them that well. So it's your responsibility to make sure that people are not afraid to trust you and to buy from you, because you can showcase, your expertise easily and you can also build a connection with them. And so that's why it is so important to have your ideal clients' interest in mind, because if they realize that you want to help them and they see the value in that, then it will be a no-brainer for them to decide to work with you. So make sure you target your message to your ideal client, to your ideal community that you want to be surrounded with, and so that it is easy for you to talk to them. You want to be able to choose the type of clients that you want to work with, and so that's why you should only speak to them, not to everybody, because it's gonna be very difficult for you to stand out and to get your message across. Tip number 4, you have to sell to this community and do that on a regular basis. So that's where the T is, because the difference between somebody who built a following without having content strategy in mind versus somebody who was very intentional about it is that you can monetize this community very fast. You don't have to wait until you have a certain number of followers to do so. So that's why as soon as you start having some traction and people following you, you have to start offering your services. And if you are not comfortable yet, you can start with some consulting calls and a tiny offer such as a digital product, but you have to make sure that you get into the habit of selling on the regular basis, because people might enjoy your content, but they might actually not know that you are in business. So if you don't tell them that you have something to offer, they are not going to know about it. So you have to speak about what you are working on, the services that you want to offer, and that way you can easily find your first clients to test your services. You will see that selling is much more fun and less stressful when you are selling to people that you know and who are actually interested in what you are offering, compared to trying to sell to a following of random people who just followed because of one content maybe that went viral. And then the 5th tip, which kind of summarizes what I've said before, is that you need to understand your ideal client's journey. Your ideal client's journey is basically from step 1, which is when they don't know about you and who you are, until the final step when they decide, heck yes, this is what I need, I want to work with her, and they buy from you. So you have to take them through different steps to go to step A to step Z. And so every piece of content that you create should aim at taking your ideal client one step further in their journey. So if you want to learn how to build a following strategically and actually be able to monetize your audience as soon as possible, then I would encourage you to sign up to the waitlist for the Social Tribe Growth Formula, which is my mentoring program where I will teach you how to create content strategically and build a following of people while living abroad as an expat or digital nomad. And so in this program, not only will you have access to all the strategies that I've implemented in my business in order to sign my first client within 3 months after launching my service-based business, you will also have access to a community of like-minded women who are at the same stage in their business and who want to support you, and vice versa. So you will learn how to build a social tribe that knows, likes, and trusts you, how to create content strategically to take your ideal client through each steps of their journey, and finally, how to sell and promote your services for free using social media. I will put the detail in the description of this episode if you want to know more. And if you have any further questions, feel free to ask me in the chat box that you will see on the page. So to recap, my 5 tips to help you build a profitable online business in no time without having a massive following are: number 1, remember that you are an entrepreneur and not an influencer, meaning that your goal is to sell your services to your followers, which means that you don't have to have thousands of them. 2, always keep your ideal client in mind whenever you are creating content. 3, focus on building a community of like-minded people who need your help. And 4, sell to this community and target your messaging to them instead of trying to be liked by everybody. And 5, make sure you understand your ideal client's journey so that you always create content to bring your ideal client one step closer to buying from you. Alright, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it and found it useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any new episode. Also, share it with a friend who needs to hear this right now. And I will see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye bye.